That title card was misleading. Welcome to Inquisitors of Pittsburgh. Good morning. My name is Jared Logan, and you are watching The Stream of Blood, a show where we stream tabletop role-playing games, and in particular on Sunday mornings, we stream Vampire, the Masquerade, 5th edition. Normally, our cast of vampires are on screen having tragic, horrible, humanity-corrupting experiences, losing their faith in God, life, people, and everything around them. But today, we're going to deal with people who really have psychological problems. Today, our focus moves to the Inquisitors of Pittsburgh. In our Vampires of Pittsburgh lockdown series, the vampires broke the Masquerade so many times that the Inquisition has taken over the city of Pittsburgh. The Inquisition, the Second Inquisition, has set up a permanent camp in Schenley Park in Pittsburgh. Inquisitors are everywhere, burning havens, investigating every gunshot, every bar fight. The entire city is on lockdown. Are these Inquisitors tragic heroes? Or are they just tragic? Last time they used a detonator to blow up one of the heads of their own teammate. So you be the judge. Again, my name's Jared Logan. I'll be your storyteller. And we have a really exciting cast for you this morning. For this little kind of like different taste, a different side of the city that we're bringing to you this morning. I am going to go ahead and bring in your cast. And hopefully by chit-chatting with them, my mouth will start working correctly. First of all, this guy, we're so happy to have him back in the United States for a little bit. And he is a guy that I've played with so many games for so many years. And he just brings verisimilitude. There we go. My mouth's working now. I'm throwing out $20 words. He brings so much reality to the things that he plays because he knows a little bit of everything. So please welcome, as the French old school inquisitor from the Society of Leopold, Gilles Dumananoir. Please welcome Humphrey Ker, everybody.
Hi, Jared.
Hello. Did I get Gilles' name right today?
Gilles.
Gilles, damn it.
This is Gilles.
My French pronunciation is still a bit rusty. Welcome back to the U.S., buddy.
It's good to be back. I'm rusty. Much has changed since last I saw you. I moved into a new house, which confused me genuinely when the music started playing and there were those two sort of bong sounds at the start. I thought that was my doorbell and was like, oh no, not now. The stream has just started. And then I was like, no, this is the sound of the...
That's just the game. Oh, and my God, now his head has frozen. Everything's exploding.
Am I back?
You are. Hi.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Hi.
And I made a mistake also. Your character is Belgian.
He is Belgian.
He does speak French, right?
It's perfect though, because he is much like the person that he's based on, if that's not giving away too much, gets furious at being called French. So you've riled him up before the game starts.
Oh my gosh. We're going to have Gilles in a bad mood when we start. Well, that's okay. I'm just a little bit afraid of him when he lets his dark side show, because normally he's such a proper gentleman, but then occasionally he shows his teeth, right?
Maybe.
Yeah. May we. All right, let's bring in your other Inquisitors. She is a fantastic actress, improviser, streamer that you can see on an upcoming Vampires of Philadelphia chronicle that I'm running for the Glass Cannon Network. You can see her on so many streams, and we are so pleased and gratified to have her here with us this morning as Sister Mary Ursula, the Shotgun Nun, a.k.a. Sister Sledge. She's a fanatic who likes to hurt things that she doesn't like. Please welcome the very talented Noura Ibrahim.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good. You know what? You caught me at a good time here because I had Sunday Mass early at 5 a.m. So after 5 hours of, praying to God that I will destroy all these vampires, I'm back. I'm ready to work.
You're infused with faith.
Yes.
I didn't.
God's vengeance.
I didn't think, that's a great point. Our 10 a.m. Sunday start time is perfect for the Inquisitors. They can just really go to church.
Yeah, but Jared, Nora only gets up this early for this stream. Like, there's no other stream I'd wake up for this early.
Oh, yeah, I know. I forget because I have like a 2-year-old now that other people don't get up at 5:45 a.m. To, yell at a small child, please go back to sleep.
I do, but it's to my cat.
Yes. Yeah. Cats are children. I really sincerely believe that. I went away. Let's bring in another dad and an incredible game master, actor, improviser, streamer, who the hardest working man in tabletop streaming, perhaps. He will be playing a investigator for us today, an Inquisitor who is part of the Delta section of the Inquisition outfit. In other words, a bug hunter, a guy with guns and grenades and attitude. Let's bring in B. Dave Walters, everybody. What's up, B. Dave?
It would help if I unmute. Hello. Thank you all for having me here. Yep.
Oh, dude,
the only thing I get up this early for is violence.
That's right. Let's all get ready to get in a real dark place here at 10 a.m. on a Sunday morning. It's how I like to start my day. Are you guys ready to do this? You wanna go shoot some vampires?
Yes,
I'm ready.
Very good. Then let me.
That is literally my brand.
Yes, very good. So then let me set a scene for us. Let us go to the city of Pittsburgh, where a few months ago the entire city was taken over in a kind of experimental Second Inquisition initiative run by some of the higher ups in the Inquisition in the United States. The year is 2020 in this chronicle currently. So just think about the administration that was in power in the middle of 2020 and what kind of Inquisition they would launch, how they would perhaps aid or abet the Inquisition. And you have an idea of how this operation is going. There's a massive camp in Shinley Park that serves as your headquarters rather. And there are tents and all these kind of sterilized areas set up because the Second Inquisition is in Pittsburgh, sort of out in the open under the guise of a CDC initiative to deal with the pandemic and to put the city on lockdown to prevent the spread of any further instances of the virus. But in truth, what you're here for is to deal with Pittsburgh's horrible vampire infestation and test whether this sort of kind of out in the open war initiative works, whether calling in airstrikes as Gilles Dumananoir did in his last appearance are an effective tool against the kindred. But we're not going to start at your headquarters in Shinley Park today. I'm going to start with these three investigators being called to the scene of a crime. Because the Inquisition is in Pittsburgh in force, now when gunshots are called in through 911 or some other kind of strange occurrence, maybe even a fist fight in the street, a stabbing, anything like that, it eventually gets back to the Inquisition and the information gatherers that work for you, including Sean Amos, your technical and surveillance expert. And then teams of Inquisitors are sent to investigate whether there is some sort of kindred involvement, or blank body involvement is how you guys would refer to it. Sometimes they call the kindred the carriers. And so on this particular morning, you find yourselves at a Pittsburgh water and sewage treatment plant north of the Allegheny River. And from the outside, it is a pleasant looking, if a little bit brutalist kind of structure, red brick, blue kind of tin roof, glass doors announcing that it is part of Pittsburgh sanitation operations. But right now, in and out come many men in hazmat suits, with the full kind of gas mask on, sampling things, taking out bags of evidence. and your 3 Inquisitors have been called to this site to investigate because you are told by your surveillance and tech expert, Sean Amos, he says, the guys on the ground are saying they haven't seen anything like this. This is something new and something strange. So they assigned 2 of their most dangerous and kill-happy agents, and perhaps their agent with the most experience, their agent with the most investigation skills, to come and take a look at what's going on at this water and sewage treatment plant. And so let me know how you'd like to approach. I will say that as you get close, there is a van where a man is handing you hazmat suits, telling you, here, you got to put these on before you go inside. He's in National Guard gear, and he seems to have been waiting for you.
Do you always suit up this much for sewage?
Not sewage in there, ma'am. The blank bodies left some kind of nest behind.
A nest, you say?
Yes. Your lady? Yes, ma'am. He doesn't know how to talk to a nun.
Bretel, what is the necessity for the putting on the hazmat suit? As you can see, I have selected my wardrobe for today with extra care.
Well, we don't know what kind of contaminants are in there. I mean, the techs are already saying that there might be some kind of bacterial danger.
The bacteria. Alors, he takes. I take your the hazmat suit and start pulling it on over my gear.
Very
I'm
good.
already suited up as this whole conversation is happening.
I also have suited up, although I'm like, you got one of these with a holster on the outside.
So these National Guard guys come over and they're trying to like figure out how to help you like get kind of holstered out on the outside.
What am I supposed to use? Harsh language?
And Horner, since we've never met Horner, your character, B-Dave, you want to describe him a little bit?
He's just walked in, keep looking at everything and everyone, listening, not making too much of a display. He's a big guy, clearly in shape, but wouldn't draw too much of your attention. He could be anybody. Maybe he's just like a CrossFitter dude or something. Maybe he's like a bouncer. Walks by like it's no big deal.
Yes. So sort of a blank body himself in some ways. He doesn't make a ton of an impression, except that you see that he is a anonymous weapon in some ways, perhaps. The suits are on. You're now like you can hear each other through like the plastic sheeting in front of your face, but it is a little uncomfortable. It's a little hot on this late spring day, but the sun is shining. And the sewage treatment plant awaits you. What a fun day at work.
Hey, I turn and look at Sister Mary and I say, excuse me, ma'am, I'm not sure what protocol is since it's tactical. Do I breach first, but is it gentlemanly to offer you to breach first, but is it offensive to assume that I need to, how do we play this?
I can handle myself there, fella.
Oh, I don't doubt that, but do you want me to be the door kicker or do you want to be the door kicker?
You know what? As we're having a nice, friendly early morning here, I'll let you breach the door first this time. You look like it was leg day for you. You look like you're ready for it.
Every day's leg day, sir. Yes, sir. And I look at Gilles and I say, the suit, yes. And then I turn to walk towards the water.
Merci bien, Monsieur Horner.
Great. Are you making an entrance here? Are you making a strong? No, just kind of waltzing in. Okay,
because this is still an active scene, right?
It is an active scene. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. So you get in, and there is a guy in a hazmat suit who looks like a tech because he's holding like a specimen case or something, climbing up a ladder. So what you're dealing with inside, immediately inside, there is a section of offices and things like that. But you've gone beyond that into the treatment plant behind, because you can see where the tape has been set up, leading you back into the treatment plant behind this corridor of offices. And in the treatment plant, it sort of catwalks over piping below. And then there is a loading dock beyond that with a lot of like tanks and things out in sort of a big concrete yard that they keep behind the sewage treatment plant. But the treatment itself takes place in here, in this sort of maze of catwalks with piping and things below. And you see a man climb up a ladder out of the innards of the treatment plant, and he goes, it's right down there. It's not pretty. And he walks off.
Why do they think we're expecting something pretty in a shit plant?
I never
question, my
understand.
friend.
Is it ever pretty?
Pardon? There is beauty in everything, my friends. You only have to find the way to see it from the correct angle.
Are you going to look at it from that angle now?
Oui, certainement. But before we descend into the bowels of the thing, I would like to say that Gilles spots a tuft of fabric stuck on a bit of metal that is sticking out from a thing, and plucks it up with some, how do you say this? Pincers, little
tweezers.
Tweezers, yes, of course.
Yeah.
Tweezers, and puts it into a little envelope, and it's like, curious and curious. It may be nothing, but it may be everything.
Does Gilles have
puts it inside his jacket?
Does Gilles have particularly elaborate facial hair?
Oh yes, indeed. Mm-hmm.
When you
very
say
carefully maintained.
The Van Dyke, maybe the Van Dyke.
when you do that, you say that, Horner turns and looks at you for a second and goes like, "You shitting me?" I'm gonna ask you about that later, and I start going down the ladder.
You don't get far down the ladder before you see what these techs and these people are talking about. The entire floor and up and through the pipes is covered in and caked with this sort of hard organic crust. It glistens. It seems to be slick, slimy. It looks like hardened mucus. But what is particularly kind of off-putting or foul about it is that there are strands of it, like cable, that wrap and weave through all the piping, and they seem to be like slightly pulsating. Very, almost imperceptibly pulsing and alive. And it's not just greenish brown. It's not just mucus-like. There's a lot of blood here. Some of it not dried and crusted and old, but like literally like coating this sort of nest on the floor, glistening. This is what you have found.
When I see the pulsating, as soon as that starts, I just say to Horner, "Are you a praying man, Horner?" Speak up.
Speak up.
Sorry, how do you turn on the speaker on this thing? Jesus.
Oh, you really?
No such thing as an atheist in a foxhole, ma'am. Yeah.
I don't know what any of those words mean, but if you got a few prayers in you, you might want to start now.
See, what I really wish is I could draw my tactical blade and stab one of these things, but it's on the wrong side of the fucking suit.
What's happening?
I do move my hand instinctively towards where my sidearm is, even though I realize I can't draw it. And I do reach out and I poke one of the ones that is pulsating.
Oh, very good. So you poke it, and it looks like it'll give if you keep pressing. Horner, do you keep pressing, or do you kind of stop it before it gives?
No, that's enough information for now.
Okay.
I've stepped back. I've seen Dr. Pimple Popper. I'm not about to be caught in any of this.
There's a blowback,
Is there any evidence down here of fire suppression system or a fire axe, more accurately, anywhere in this area?
That is logically reasoned, and in fact, you do have to climb back up out of the innards here, but and through the entrance you came in through into this area, there is a fire axe.
And head back. Yeah.
Can I see, while Monsieur Honor is exiting back up the hall looking for the axe, is it possible to look around? Are there other means of entry or exit from this room?
Great. This whole bottom area. So the chamber where they do the water treatment. There's so much machinery down here, and it looks like the entire beneath the catwalk, the entire area down here is covered in this stuff, and it's blocking certain ways that people would normally move through, which would have been cramped anyway. So I need a roll from you to kind of discern how something would get in or out of here. Dumananoir, do you have any thoughts on what you would like to use? Because I can call for it. Maybe investigation plus, let's say, wits.
Sure. Okay. Alors.
And the difficulty it's not too hard for you. I'm going to make it a difficulty of 2. But if you fail, this sticky stuff might pose some sort of danger to you.
Yes,
as you're exploring.
I am just finding the dice roller. Alors, okay. No. Okay. Oh, I'm confused. The dice roller that I have chosen to use is incomprehensible to me.
Okay, well, you could also you're immortal, so the good thing is you could use just a Google dice roller if that helps.
I know. Okay,
you're just rolling as many 10-sided dice as you have dots in wits plus investigation.
Okay. Okay. Aha. Here we go. It is working. Excuse-moi. I was disconcerted by the
strange mucus.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, of course you were.
I pass.
You pass. How many successes?
3 successes.
3 successes is enough for you to not have any peril kind of rear its ugly head. And so, Dumananoir, while your friend Horner is getting in a fire axe, you're kind of poking around. What does Dumananoir have on him? Does he use like an umbrella or a cane? I'm guessing, actually. Maybe he doesn't. What does he use to move
he
through
has
this stuff?
He has a little sort of, cane, a walking stick, of course. You no doubt recall from previous excitements, with a little swan's head on top of it. It's beautifully made. Yes, they use to pout the tendrils and poke sporadically here and there,
Yes,
okay. Like Monsieur Horner.
So he pulls back a flap of this stuff, and he finds himself at a pool. And it's pretty deep and large, and it seems like maybe when they are dealing with a lot of water or overflow, it probably fills up. Right now, it is just, filled to probably, if you were to get into your knees or your mid-thigh with that sort of mucus, that sort of awful blood gelatin. But what you notice is that there is a trail of the stuff going into a large pipe that probably leads to a sewer shed out to the Allegheny River.
Hello. Indeed. Most interesting.
Can I use my true faith to kind of sense if there are any of the blank bodies around us?
That's interesting. So at True Faith 3, you can start to sense vampires. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what I would like you to do is, why don't you give me? I think I'm ruling this correctly. Give me a wits plus investigation, or no, let's make it awareness. Wits plus awareness, but add your true faith dots, and I will tell you what you feel.
All right, here we go. It's a lot of dice rolls.
And for the particular thing I have in mind, Noura, I think that Sister Mary Ursula needs 3 successes because she's sort of accessing a higher sphere here.
4 successes.
There you go. Sister Mary Ursula, just as it says in the Bible that Abel's blood cried out to God, you can feel the blood of innocent people crying out to you. And you can feel it flowing through this organic structure, flowing toward the tunnel that Gilles has discovered. But oddly, you hear another cry kind of coming from sort of the north, like behind you. Like there's another instance. There's another cry of blood coming from there, and that's how I want to describe it. It sounds it's not just like you're sensing vamps. You're not just sensing blank bodies. You're hearing the cries of the innocents that they have slaughtered.
Important point of clarification. What time of day is it?
Yeah, it's. I'm going to say it's afternoon. I'm going to say it's afternoon.
Yeah, if it's like 12 noon, is a very different approach here than 12 midnight. You know,
I agree. I 100% agree. And
okay.
Of course, you're not fools. You're good at this. You know these things. So you're doing your investigation during the day, right?
Can I just if I were to mutter some prayers under my breath, do the cries do I still hear them?
If you mutter prayers under your breath, are you saying would you like to maintain this sort of tracking? Is that what you're asking, or are you trying to end the cries in your head that are crying out for you to do something?
Yeah, if I'm this is just the biggest abomination I've ever seen, in that the fact that the voices of the innocent are heard screaming inside my head. If I was to, say a prayer, does it quiet the voices?
It does. It does quiet your voices. Yes. And just from a storyteller perspective, I'll just say that, it is an ability, an advantage you have. So you're a little bit in control of it.
Okay.
But you say a prayer or two and it gives you solace and the voices kind of quiet down. And now you're aware that the trail definitely leads into this tunnel, or you could just head north because you definitely feel something happening there. That would be like back out the front door and like north, like across the street, and who knows where you'd be heading. Yes. And I will say that Sean Amos has already sent to your smartphone, Gilles, some info on how the Inquisition even found this site. They were contacted. The Pittsburgh 911 was contacted about anonymously about someone poisoning the water here. And he's already sending you memos from Inquisition higher ups that are saying they are going to shut off the city's water supply for like the next 72 hours. In order to stop any contaminants from this site getting into, Pittsburgh's water and causing who the fuck knows what. So there's already an entire media blackout around this. They are claiming that, it was some sort of contamination. They're not, of course, saying that blank bodies are responsible. But you suddenly are at the arrowhead of a very high pressure case for the Inquisition here in Pittsburgh.
Just where we are always usually being.
And just to drive that point home, your administrator, your direct supervisor, Nadine Bauer, is just shooting you with text after text. Of course, she's pretty useless. So she's just like, what have you found? Are you working on it? Do you have any leads? Like,
there are so many GIFs. Why does she send GIFs on the work telephone? Huh?
Right. Yeah, she is. She's sending like memes like, come on, time,
yes, she's doing the one with the fellow and the two ladies, and the one lady on this side is the solved case, and the one lady on this side is wasting time, and then she says, you, with me looking at the wasting time, and I'm like, yes. This is an unfair assessment of the situation.
That's right. So there's a lot of pressure here, and that the Inquisition has interfered with your tactics before, that they can be quite meddling in the way that you like to conduct an investigation. So just keep that in mind. That's just something that could rear its ugly head. But I want to know where this team would like to move next. And B-Dave, be sure to add to Horner's inventory a big fire axe. And yes, sir. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. We can't hear you again.
It's a fucking speaker. Sister Mara, do you share with us that thing about to the north?
Yeah, I was just going to say, well, this is a strange occurrence here, fellas, because we could either continue going down this route, but there's also a cry, something to the north. If we just head straight north, we're going to run into something.
Second question. This is all of this is down under the tanks. Is there any indicator that this is actively anywhere actually affecting the water? Like, I mean, I get the spin, but it's like, is somebody really trying to do something to the water, or is this just down here underneath the tanks?
You could talk to the techs who have been studying it, or if any of you have science skills, you could talk to them, or you could use them.
Very minorly, but just with my eyeballs, do these strands go anywhere near the water supply? From what I can see.
They do, because there is strands going into this sewer shed, and the tanks that have like kind of filtered water also have this stuff all caked up the side of them. So this is a real threat. Someone perhaps was trying to taint the water.
Gilles, you have any? Oh,
I was just saying, right before we get ready to leave, I just sort of look at both of them and I hold up the axe and I'm like, stress test?
I mean,
well, I like the directness of your thinking, Monsieur Horner. However, can you elaborate exactly on what your plan is? If it's to lop one of these things off into the river, does that not in fact increase the intoxication? Or do you think that perhaps an area away from the water is the place to test?
In the time that he's talking about it, I just look at him and I just find just like a random piece on the wall and just like bang, and just to see what happens.
Whoa. Very good. So no roll necessary. You smash the axe into one of these like cords, and it splits open, and blood like geysers out, and I will allow you to get out of its way if you'd like to. You do have the hazmat suit on.
No,
so.
But still, I've seen enough movies. Nah, no thanks.
Very good. Then give me dexterity plus athletics would be a good way to do that.
I want to get out of the way of this. However, the real thing I'm looking for is not just, I'm looking for two things. One, can I kill it with this axe? And two, does the rest of the structure seem to react? Like, does it vibrate? Does it shriek? Does it seem like it like feels pain? Those are the kind of things I'm looking for.
Right. Okay, great.
I'm just using the vampire dice, by the way. I don't know if you want to give difficulties, I can get numbered.
No. I think a difficulty to get out of the way is only 2 here. So if you get 2 or more successes, you've done that. But then we're going to roll to see what you see.
Exactly 2.
Okay, great. You move out of the way, which allows you to kind of observe the entire structure when you do that. And you realize that the whole thing kind of shudders a little bit, but it doesn't react defensively at all. But what in particular you notice, Horner, is that the blood that pours out of the vein that you've just cut has like corroded part of your axe. Like it's like sizzling, and it's melted a bit of the tip of your axe. And the places where it's splattered on the ground, there are now little chips out of the concrete.
Fucking aliens. Look at. I mean, sorry, ma'am. Freaking aliens.
all right. Hey, Gilles, are you gonna collect any water samples, or are you just gonna collect lint balls?
I think that probably I will leave that to the technicians that are here. I think they can collect and report on our behalf. Now, I believe that we have one course ahead of us, which is to follow the passageway in front of us to find whoever or whatever it is that may have built this infernal contraption.
I vote north.
Up and north. Hello.
Yeah. There is, you have to trust me here. There is a voice that I'm hearing.
I have learned to trust you very much, Sister Mary Ursula. In fact, I would trust you with my life.
Oh, thank you, Gilles.
Very good. Back out into the bright light of day. You head and you're moving through, the various nondescript white vans. Yes, sir.
Dude, one thing before I go, I point out to the techs where I damaged it, the acid, and I give them the axe, and I'm like, get some samples off of that. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. I mean, like, it does seem to be interconnected. I don't think it's alive as such. Yeah. And then, dude.
Very
and
good.
as he says that, I'll say, there are those who are clean in their own eyes, but are not washed of their filth. We got to go find these. And I turn to slightly towards Horner and say, these fucking blanks.
Just so.
I'm trying to get the hang of it here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, get out of the hazmat suit before we leave the area. Yeah.
And so you are heading north, and there's really only, like, when you go across the street and you go a little ways, the only thing that is sort of discernible is one large kind of campus, kind of structure here. And you realize that you are looking at the campus of a hospital. UPMC St. Margaret is standing before you, and it is truly like across the road from this water and sewage treatment plant, directly to the north.
Noah, I'm new in town, but does it not seem a little strange to y'all to put a hospital across the street from a shit plant?
Well, Monsieur Horner, I have been in America only for a little while, but nothing.
Talk to the people in Pittsburgh, B-Dave, because they did it. You can look at the map.
Listen, city planning was not my specialty, but you may have a point there.
Roughly how big is this hospital? Because I'm not familiar for it. I mean, is this a 10 story, 5,000 people? Is it a small regional hospital? Or
University of Pittsburgh Medical Systems maintains several different campuses all over the Pittsburgh area. This is one of their smaller adjunct hospitals. It's not their main campus. So it's a cluster of like 3 or 4 buildings, and they are repurposed buildings. I don't believe that they're like a new structure. So not huge, and not that really imposing.
All right. I turn and look at the two of them, and I'm like, either you got credentials that can get us in the front door. My credentials are a little different. I just kind of put my hand on my side arm and like,
I am confident that I have the requisite paperwork to get us through the front door.
I just need my outfit to get me through most places.
Are you legit dressed like a nun, just straight up nun right now, by the way?
It's like half nun, half fatigues.
She has a tactical wimple.
Tactical habit.
Yeah, it is a
Right.
Tactical habit in every sense of the word.
So perhaps you lose the hazmat suits before you head over, if you'd like, and you arrive by coming directly from the south to the north. You kind of come up to sort of the emergency room kind of entrance first. You could walk around the building and go into the main lobby if you'd prefer. But I will say that there are cops outside with their cars, kind of in position for like they're investigating something or responding to some kind of a call. And that is when your surveillance expert sends through a text saying some sort of incident last night at UPMC St. Margaret. Right on time with the info.
I text back, yes, no shit, as we cross the car park. So I look for the scene commander. There should be an officer there, a police officer, is some sort of rank insignia. and make my way up to
Sure.
him?
There's a sergeant, and he is sitting with a security guard who is drinking a cup of coffee.
Oh, so it is not the tensest of scenes, huh?
No, it looks like
has
they're...
occurred appears to be long over.
That's correct.
Alors, I approach them. Sergeant, good afternoon.
Hi.
I flash him. I presume I have some piece of paperwork, and now I am, how do you say, metagaming? I presume that I have some piece of paperwork that grants me some authority over temporal figures.
Yeah, that makes sense, right? I mean, you are one tier above at least a beat cop, so you can flash an ID that says that you are a special investigator for the Department of Homeland Security.
Very well.
Meanwhile, I'm just standing behind him with my sledgehammer, like in my tactical habit.
I flash him this, a prop from Call of Cthulhu. That
I will say,
here on
if
the table in front of me.
if she's standing there tapping a sledgehammer, I'm kind of like, I step like 5 feet away from them, like a triangulation, but kind of like I'm looking the other way.
Yeah. The sergeant does look very confused. The security guard beside him is like kind of like sitting there with like one of those like you just survived a disaster tarps over his shoulders, like clutching the coffee. And the sergeant goes, yeah, can I help you? And he's looking at Sister Mary like, what the fuck is...
Just nod.
Yes, so yes, you certainly can help me, Sergeant. I am have been sent down here from your precinct to take command of this crime scene.
Take command?
That's correct.
Yeah, well, the crime scene's, I mean, it's a little buttoned up, but, I mean, look, this has something to do with Homeland Security?
Yes, that is correct. So I would appreciate a situation report from you at the first available opportunity, like now.
Oh, yes, sir. Well, the detectives are gone. You should probably speak to them. But, okay. Right? I mean, I should give you to the detectives, right?
Sergeant.
Yes.
Here is a piece of advice from someone who has been in law enforcement for a considerable period of time, longer than you. If a superior officer asks you for a situation report, do your best to give him one at the first available opportunity.
Yes. All right. So we have one body inside. It's been removed now. A man named Bledsoe was looks like stabbed or cut across the throat. In the wee hours of the morning, this man here, the security guard, he responded, but he took it pretty hard because he's not making a lot of sense.
What do you mean he's not making a lot of sense?
He's saying that the victim flew in the air and just kind of exploded out of his neck.
Gilles gives a series of incredibly over-the-top significant looks to Horner and Sister Mary Ursula, of a kind that no one does in real life, but does happen in crime dramas where they're like, sounds like our guy.
Excuse me, officer. I feel like in an emergency room, there's probably a lot of people that have been shot, stabbed, throats cut. You saying this happened here at the hospital to a staff member or
to a patient?
But they got in the hospital.
Yes, sir. That's what I'm saying. Yes.
They got cameras in the hospital.
Well, not in every patient room, unfortunately. I can show you where it happened. Follow me. And he takes you into the emergency room, and then into a corridor. And this corridor has, like, you know, those rooms where you just pull back a curtain, and you can see that there's an entire crime scene set up. But it looks like they're finishing up taking samples and stuff. They're even like the cleaners are arriving now, which are they're not even like crime scene cleaners. Like hospitals are equipped to deal with blood. So orderlies have arrived to kind of clean up the area. But there is a bed. There's a television hanging on the wall. All of this happened behind kind of a curtain. And the camera is in the corridor, kind of watching the entire corridor. He points that out. The camera isn't in the room. I can't see behind every curtain. And so if you'd like to watch the footage, you can.
Yeah, at least who came in, who came out around that time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Tim, can you bring up the footage for us? And the security guard goes, yeah. And he comes in and he takes you over to his like little desk, which is the desk where, people answer the phones in the emergency room and things like that, because he can bring it up here, and he taps some things into the computer, and you can see he's just like really pale and shaking. And you see the footage, and the footage shows he fast forwards to a part where you just see like the curtain of this room kind of like flitter for a minute. Almost as if like something enters, but you see nothing on the screen. And then you see commotion taking place behind the curtain. You see this security guard, Tim, run in and, run behind the curtain. And then all of a sudden, like, run out, like, screaming, dropping his gun, like, clawing his way away from whatever happened inside. And then beyond the curtain, you see blood spray up out of the area. And then the curtain comes back and there is something. It's very unclear, but there is some kind of shadowy thing or presence moving kind of along the corridor.
Tim, enhance.
I don't think it does that. No, it doesn't enhance.
So I would like to take a second to just put my arm around Tim and say, Tim, you have done very well, my friend. For you see, when the moment came, you answered the call and bravely did your best. And that is all that anyone can ask of someone in this day and age. And I pop open a little tin of like licorice mints or some weird, gross Belgian confection that I have about my person and offer him one.
He holds it and he goes, I saw it for a second.
And what was it that you saw?
It was a dead body.
Mm-hmm.
It held him up. It had
in a hospital.
It had long claws, and it just ripped his neck open.
Okay.
He puts the mint in his mouth.
They are an acquired taste.
Is this European?
Yes, you will not like it. It is, yes. You will not like it, but it is an acquired taste, I assure you.
Mint is just cold. It's just cold spicy. Just lean into it.
It's a strange number.
It is. It's kind of cold spicy.
I do sort of lean real close to Tim, and I say, Tim, I'm about to give you the best advice you ever got in your life. You ready to hear it? When we're done talking here, never say to another living soul what you saw last night. Do not talk about it. You understand?
He kind of swallows the mint.
That's not how those work, Tim.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, we believe you, but put that shit out of your mind. Maybe you were sleep deprived. Maybe you had too strong of a cocktail at dinner. It didn't happen, okay, Tim? It didn't happen.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Tim, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I would just like to take a look at the patient chart outside of their area, so I could see who the last nurse to attend. Maybe ask some questions about who this patient was and if they've been acting strangely.
The nurse in attendance was Maya Gonzalez. And she is still there. Tim tells you. It's on the chart, and he points, over to charge, which is that big desk. And you see a young woman with a face mask on, kind of like, just watching this whole thing get cleaned up.
And Tim, may I ask another question, please, before we leave you to your duties? You say it had got him. It had got who? What is the name of the patient that was in here?
He looks at the chart. Bledsoe. Ray Bledsoe.
Ray Bloodsoe. And what was Monsieur Bloodsoe in the hospital for?
You'd have to ask Maya. I'm just security.
You've passed the test. I was wondering if you had been looking at private medical records and knew too much for a security guard, but well done.
I apologize because I lagged just briefly. In the video of what we did see, did we see how the creature escaped?
It looks like it went back out the door you came in, because it went down the corridor toward like charge and everything.
Which would have been in the direction of the water treatment plant?
That's correct.
So it came from the water treatment plant direction. I mean, a lot of things are that way, but roughly that direction, came in here, killed this dude, and went back roughly that direction.
That's correct.
Tim, anything else like this happened in here? Like just anybody killed in the hospital for any reason at all in the last?
No, are you kidding? No.
Well, guess what, Tim? This didn't happen here last night either. Okay.
Right. It didn't happen. Yeah. I'm just gonna go home and I might take a bath. I haven't had a bath in a while.
It's
I haven't
probably
had a bath.
a good idea.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe don't go straight home. You got anybody at the mom, wife, kids?
I got my aunt is. I live with my aunt.
Maybe you and Aunt May get out of town for a couple of days, Tim.
Her name's Rebecca, but yeah, okay.
It is a figure of speech, I think.
Okay. Out of
Well,
town.
don't you worry, Tim, because the angels will come forth and take out the wicked from among the righteous. We got this.
Okay. He stumbles off, still thoroughly shaken. And you have a couple leads. You have what would you like to do next? The nurse that was on duty is still there.
Could I ask our technical person to run that name Bledsoe, see if they can find out who the person in this room was? Because the blank bodies, I mean, normally they're fairly subtle. So if this one took the time to come in here, violently kill this person, and risk being spotted, that was for a reason. So I would like to know who that guy was.
Great.
And why was he in here in the first place, by the way? Like, I mean, did somebody try to roll him up like a week ago and he just lived and that's why he was here? Yeah.
Put a background check for sure.
Yeah. Amos says on it, and he's going to get to work putting together a profile. So that'll just take a little bit of time to come back. In the meanwhile, what would you like to do?
I would like to talk to Miss Gonzalez.
Mm-hmm. You can see that she is just like bone tired and a little shaken herself, but isn't like actually shaking, like literally shaking like Tim. And she sees you walking up in your combination non-habit combat fatigues. And she's like, can I help you?
Yes, ma'am. Am I to understand that you were the last nurse on duty?
Yeah, that's right.
With this patient?
Yeah, that's right. And look, he was a bit of a problem character. He's been in here before. I bet he owed somebody money somewhere. And they came and they took it out in blood. It happens. And I've not seen a lot of this in the ER, but we've had incidents. We've had fights. We've had people come in with a gun. Yeah, sure.
So you're telling me it is your inclination that this man is of a nefarious nature?
Bledsoe? The Vic?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Is that what you say, the Vic? Sorry. It's not funny. He is, I don't know if I'd say nefarious. And suddenly something comes back, Horner, something comes back from Sean Amos. This guy, Bledsoe, has multiple arrest records for solicitation. And then Sean adds just a little bit of color of his own. Otherwise, he seems like a normal sad sack pervert.
I look over at the nurse after I read this, and I just say, random question, sister, or not sister, your sister, ma'am, nurse. I don't know. Is this a Christian hospital? Whatever. That doesn't matter.
Me nurse. You could just call me nurse.
Have you seen an uptick in having to treat pros, working girls Somebody hurting them disproportionately in the area?
I don't know. Yeah, no, but I mean, are you asking because Bledsoe had a really, really bad case of gonorrhea? I mean,
I wasn't, but here we are.
yeah.
And that's so, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not his first case.
If we have a group text or anything of the sort, like while I'm standing here in front of this woman, I text, a lot of people got killed to build that thing in the water treatment plant, and nobody notices when working girls go missing. And this guy was tied into that. Like, I was just like, well, the nurse is here. I'm like, huh, that's weird. And like, literally, this time, the two of them right there.
So, Miss Gonzalez, Nurse Gonzalez, excuse me. You say you don't seem so surprised by this.
I'm surprised. I mean, I've never had someone come in and stab a dude before, but I'm not like shocked. Like,
Oh, so you saw the body after the incident. Were you were here? Were you on the scene?
I saw it.
quickly?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
And the
You ever
wounds they
see
were.
anybody get roughed up like that?
Sure. I'm an ER nurse. I've seen fucked up shit. Do you know what a degloving is? The
Yes.
skin of the hand comes. Okay.
We all know
Yeah.
what a degloving is.
Can be quite
Right.
effective if judiciously applied, but I don't think that was your meaning.
I don't think it's necessary in this moment.
It wasn't my meaning. Look, I'm really tired. How many more questions do I have to answer?
Just how long was he in here for this time?
Let's see. We were keeping him not even 24 hours. We try to get him out of here. He comes in, we give him antibiotics, we do what we can to patch him up, and we get him back out. We don't have enough beds for this kind of stuff.
I
Last
see.
question. Question and a comment, really. One, do you have an address for Mr. Bledsoe?
Yeah, let me look. You sure I'm allowed to give you that?
I mean, we're already way past violating HIPAA because you just told us he had gonorrhea and why he's been in here. So I think we might as well just see it through to its conclusion. Nurse Gonzalez, yeah.
What's your name?
I didn't give it.
No, I think I'm done right there. You threatened me with violating HIPAA. I was trying to help you. Yeah, I think we're done.
I'm asking you to help me now. Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, officer. I'm done talking to these people. The sergeant walks up and is like, I don't think that's an option, really.
No, I don't think so either. Look, Miss Gonzalez, again, please. There's no need for any difficulties here. We're all on the same side.
Fine.
Miss Gonzalez, whoever is not with me is against me, and whoever does not gather with me scatters, so you better make with the answers.
You say one more thing like that, and I'm really keeping my mouth shut. She gives you an address in Larimer.
Go with God, Nurse Gonzalez.
I do a little sign of the cross to
The
and
moment
then peace out.
when Sister Mary walks away, I lean over to Gilles. I'm like, does she really like talk like that all the time?
All the time. Everywhere.
I dig it.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, it is one of her little foibles.
Gets results. Yeah.
It certainly does.
When we get out of easy earshot, I just kind of say out loud again. So here's my thought. Since I don't know how well I captured it in text. Unfortunately, a lot of times would-be serial killers, oftentimes they start with prostitutes. They start with transients, people that would go missing, people nobody's going to come looking for.
People who are vulnerable, yeah.
Exactly. If one of these blanks took the time to make sure they silenced him, and the only lead we have is he was, and I look at what Amos sent me again and say out loud, multiple arrests for solicitation, and apparently a 4-alarm case of gonorrhea.
You
He
think
was
he is the procurer?
I do. But there's another problem there. That if they came in here to shut him up permanently, whatever they needed procurement for is nearly finished.
C'est vrai.
It makes sense.
I just hold up the address. I'm like, might be worth taking a look. I think we got a couple more hours till sundown and things heat up.
Very true. Hello.
Very good. There is a apartment building on Tyler Way in the Larimer district of Pittsburgh. It's a little kind of off side street. The apartments here look like cheap rooms for rent. Not the best section of town. You find your way to the sad apartment of Ray Bledsoe. It's a bit unkempt. It's a bit dirty. There's empty beer bottles on the table. And not a man who was, really buttoned up and neat about his habits. I'm going to skip to you gaining access. You're standing in his tiny apartment, and you can investigate with a roll. Actually, could I just get rolls from people to kind of turn this place over? And you can bring any kind of allies to bear, advantages, anything like that you'd like.
What are we rolling along with investigation?
I think that in order to find something interesting here, I need 3 successes, no matter what strategy you use, whatever combination of attribute and skill you use. I need 3 successes. And what I would like is, a wits plus investigation would work. A wits plus awareness would work. Or if you have some particular kind of streetwise would work. For example, if Horner wanted to use that, because he's talking about this man's connection to perhaps prostitutes or procurement.
Yeah, I definitely want to put on a pair of gloves and just flip the mattress over.
Very good. Yeah.
I would like to call my Inquisition intelligence contacts, and again find out if the sex workers in the area have disappeared at a disproportional rate, like an unusually high number of them have gone missing in the area of the hospital and water treatment plant.
Amos is like, he's texting back. It's a dangerous profession. I'll take a look.
Disproportionately high,
Yeah.
So.
Right.
Yeah. 4 successes on that, just because I'm here. If something catches my eye, yes, but I'm more trying to run down those leads than tossing this place. Okay.
Great. You find with your 4 successes, and people can find other things. Horner, you find beside his computer, which is an old 2006 model computer, but it does connect to the internet. Under a bunch of garbage and stuff he's put on this desk, a notepad where he's written down some addresses, some websites that he likes to go to. Apparently, he hadn't learned to use the bookmark feature, and some phone numbers for some ladies he can call. They all have names beside them, like Carla, Luis, all these names. How about you, Dumananoir? What have you been looking into?
So I have done what I always do every time I enter into a crime scene, which is to there we go. This is the meme that I received.
Aiden Bauer sends it again.
Another one.
Yeah.
You have already sent this one. Not good. Not good. So what I do is I enter into the mind and into the life of the victim themselves. So I enter into the room. I become as this man. I become Ray Bledsoe. I live as he does. I think as he does. I snoop around. I pick things up. I think, I sit here beating one out at my computer and eating an instant noodle. Then what do I do? How do I live? I throw into the trash can. Well, sometimes the noodles, they miss. The things, they slide down the side of the trash can. I look behind. What do I find there? Something. A little something.
A little something behind the trash can. Well, how did your roll go? What did you roll?
I got 5 successes.
Wow. Okay. 5 successes. You realize that no, this guy wasn't a procurer. He was just a John. He was just a John. He doesn't, there's absolutely nothing that says, you've dealt with mortals that are working for the blank bodies before. They always have aspirations, don't they? They always have a hope, right? This sort of as depressive and as broken as they are. Yeah. They always have ideas above their station. Ray Bledsoe didn't. Ray Bledsoe liked to fuck people for money. Pay money to have sex. So that is what you learn about his profile. And perhaps you think possibly this could unfortunately be maybe a little bit of a dead end, except that, your friend Horner has found these contacts. That could be a lead. But how did Sister Mary Ursula do? What skills did you use, Sister Mary?
I used wits and awareness, and I got 4 successes.
4 successes. Okay. Wits plus awareness. I like that. All right.
Because I have 0 investigation.
Yeah.
I also have 0 investigation, and we're invested. But again, I'm like, you call me when you already know where they are. So,
Sister Mary, you go into the kitchen, right? And you find where Ray Bledsoe has left food in his pots, right? Like the remains of like a ravioli or something like that. And he's been away from the house for a couple of days. And he did that thing where you pour water in it to let it loosen it, and you're just looking at like this pool of like congealed marinara and bits of pasta. And it's been sitting there just kind of cooking for days in the sink.
This is somehow worse than the shit water that we
Yeah, it is somehow worse, except that Sister Mary, for you, like when you're looking at that pile of of dirty food in the sink, suddenly like a choir kind of opens up in your head. There's something about it. It's trying to tell you something, and for a moment it glows. Like a chalice of the Savior. It glows like the Grail, and then that's gone.
I didn't see anybody's face in that water.
You did not see anybody's face?
Damn
No. Make if you would, an intelligence plus science roll. And do you have any science dots at all?
I do not.
Then take a -1 off of your dice pool and just roll your intelligence. And you need 1 success for a word that's on your tip of your tongue to come to you.
Well, I got one success exact. Can I burn a willpower?
You sure can if you want. Yeah, you sure can if you want.
All right, I got 2 successes, so now I got 1 success.
Very good. Okay, so you think bacteria. This man was unclean. He had bacteria in him. And this is the bacteria you're kind of thinking of in the sink. Something about that feels significant to you. You of course conduct your investigations from a way more intuitive kind of standpoint, and that is the instinct you're having right now.
I don't need science. I got God. That's all I gotta say.
Very good. Hours have passed. Let's find out how many by rolling this die. 6 hours have passed. It took you that long for you to, check in with everybody, get over here, get inside, toss the place. And it is now full night. And so I ask you, do you want to continue your investigation with no sun? Or do you want to rest and head out the next day?
Well, I am concerned because we were told we had but 72 hours in which to find the source and stop the poisoning of the water of the city of Pittsburgh.
That's true. Yeah. So you probably actually, that's a very good point. I think your bosses don't want you to stop. They want you to keep going. You're supposed to be pros.
Yeah.
I've received another gif of Michael Scott going, "It's happening! It's happening!" like this, and yes, we know.
You all noticed that even though I'm dressed rather nondescriptly, I kind of have a particularly baggy sweatshirt on, even though it's kind of a warm time of year. And just every few hours, you see me pop out these packets of vitamins and just like with no water or anything, just okay.
You all right there, son?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's full of the Holy Spirit, sister. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right then. Are we locked in? I'm just like all my weapons are out. Like I'm ready to go.
Well, I'm all for that. I'm all for it. And I just look at this big duffel bag I've got on the floor, and I'm like, but we don't know where we're going. I mean, I for one don't want to go crawling through shit tunnels in the darkness along a riverbank. Do you? We don't. What's the next move?
Well,
I think there are a couple of options. Oh, pardon. Please.
Oh, I'm sure that you've got a better lead on this, but I think we could maybe start with any of those contacts that you found.
Yeah, I mean, they should be up and about right about now.
That's true. They should be starting their working day or working night at this point.
I would like to start with whatever the bottom name on the list is, because that's most likely to be the last person he was with before he went into the hospital. So if there's 10 names, number 10.
Yeah. Okay. So number 10.
Ooh, Velvet. That sounds classy.
Yeah, it's Velvet. Thank you. It's Velvet and Velvet.
What is that, Velvet?
Yeah, he scrawled the name
It's
Velvet.
Velour.
And there's a phone number. There's a phone number.
I whip out the phone and I call.
Great. You call and someone answers. A female voice answers and is like, "Hello.
I'm looking for a dance partner, and I heard this is where the party was happening."
Yeah, you heard right. What's your name, honey?
Just call me Horn.
Horn, are you horny?
I mean, maybe.
Are you horny, baby?
It's, depends on who's asking. Is this Velvet?
You better be. This is Velvet. Yeah, you better be if you're gonna come see me.
I mean,
Vampire is rated R.
It's true.
There are adult situations. Okay,
it's true. That is true. It's like where I'm from the show don't tell school of thought, baby. Where can I come find you?
She gives you an address that's off Larimer Avenue on Alemania Way.
Perfect. Can I come right over?
Be here waiting for you.
I mean, I don't mean to offend you, ma'am. Can I bring some friends? Make a real party?
Should I call some friends?
You absolutely should call some friends.
Okay.
I
just
rotated home. I got some hazard pay to spend.
All right, we'll be ready. Give me an hour.
Be right there. I'm gonna go freshen up.
Very good.
And the moment I hang up, I look at Sister Mary and I say, "Do not hurt these women. It is a valid life strategy."
Hey, everybody has a chance to repent and find God, except for those blanks. Those are who I'm after.
Exactly. For all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God, etc., right?
No, I'm impressed there, Horner.
Like I said, no atheist in a foxhole. Sorry, Giles, you were saying something?
Giles?
No. I was just saying that I concur that we must handle this very delicately.
Well, I mean, based on the fact that he got burned, don't handle anything in that room, if you know what I mean. I do like elbow him a little bit, like, you know what I mean?
Okay. If you are heading over, can I describe the address? Are we ready for that scene?
Sure.
Very good. The house is it's got a yard with some stuff in it. Actually, in fact, you see like a little kid's kind of like toy car in the yard. It's a bit overgrown, but it has like a wind chime, and it's a charming little brick house. And as you pull up, a woman opens the door, and you can see that there's some people in there behind her. She's holding a red Solo cup, and she's like, "Is that Horn?"
Yeah, it is. And I just come walking, I walk up to her, and I just like just ahead of the two of them. And when I get closer to Velvet, I say, I'm here to party, but not like you think. So here's how this is going to go down. We're not cops, but we are detectives. I'm going to pay you and your friends for your time. You're going to give us some information, and you're going to be able to get on with your night. How about that?
Okay.
And then
Not cops.
Not like you think. And then I.
Why is that one dressed like a nun?
Well,
I give her a wink.
Come on in, honey. And she leads you into the living room. It's got like an Xbox hooked up. It's got a big screen TV.
This is my kind of party.
People have been smoking weed in here. There's liquor bottles everywhere, and they have red Solo cups to put the drinks in. She's like, "You want something to drink?"
I do produce a large wad, which again might be $5,000, but when you have 5,000 in hundreds flipped over, and it looks pretty impressive, you know. So I'm like,
yeah.
And I just show it to him. I'm like, "You guys tell us what we need to know. We're gonna make this worth your while, all right?"
Okay.
And then I just turn and look at Giles and just motion towards them.
So I will say to her, I'm like, "Do you have any whiskey?"
Yeah, they and so it's three ladies, and they're wearing halter tops. They've gotten into their workwear.
They've got a job to do.
And they pour a big red Solo cup full of whiskey for you and hand it to you, Sister Mary.
Thanks, dear. And this place is lit, as you could say.
Mm-hmm. Lit AF. I immediately break
She's
off.
fun.
I immediately break off 200 for each of them, just right out of the gate, so they know we're serious. Kind of clip it back up.
What do you want to know?
I also I pull out my handkerchief and put it on one of the chairs before I sit down on it, and I'm like, hello. So it's a pleasure for us to meet. Velvet, what is the name of your two charming young companions here?
This is Mara, and this is Louise.
Enchanté.
I quite conspicuously do not sit. I kind of move to the other side of the room that I'm trying to keep all three of them and an eye on the window. You know,
yeah,
but
I'm definitely not sitting down.
All right, please continue.
No, not at all. Now, Velvet, we were hoping. Monsieur le Storyteller. The names Mara and what was the other lady called?
That's Mara and Louise.
And Louise. Alors, so they are also on the list of Monsieur Bledsoe?
Louise was.
Okay. So, we were wondering if you could help us to find our friend. His name is Ray. Perhaps you know him. He's a regular frequenter of the
Didn't Ray
company.
die?
He died?
Yes, at the hospital.
And
when?
Right when she says that, I just look at Giles and I'm like, I guarantee you they know more than we do. Y'all know Ray got rolled up. We want to know who got him.
There's nobody would have rolled Ray up. Ray didn't
Somebody
hurt
rolled
anybody.
Ray up.
Ray hurt himself.
Ray didn't do that to himself.
Ray liked it cheap. So he kept going. He kept going to someone who's not professional. He kept going to Kelly. He went to Kelly more than once, and he got what he had coming to him.
Kelly
now, what happened to him in the hospital, I don't know.
Was Kelly a name on the list?
Kelly is on the list. She's a little up from Velvet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hun, we're not talking about the gonorrhea here. We are talking about how he had gotten his throat slashed. Almost clear off.
They're all very upset. They liked Ray.
I
don't know who would have done that to him. I don't know.
Kelly got a boyfriend, a jealous ex, a girlfriend, somebody that would have taken it real personal if somebody was dipping in the honey jar.
No, I mean, Kelly, you know, she's just a junkie. Like, she just undercuts the rest of us and gives people the fucking clap.
Do you know where we can find Kelly right now?
Yeah. And she gives you a bridge. A bridge.
It's like
yeah.
that.
It's like that. That's how low Kelly's prices are. Is that
Kelly-
she happens to be someone who experiences homelessness.
Kelly charges by the minute. I got it. Okay. All right.
Look, you know, she's got a lot of problems. I just be careful how you deal with her, because she's, if 3 people come rolling up on her, she could run or do something crazy.
Yeah, that's why we usually try to call in advance again, but none of you can think of any reason why somebody would have come after Ray. We're just trying to make sure justice is served.
What do you think? I don't know. He didn't use, his only vice was us.
I mean, whose isn't, right? You know,
Are you sure?
I very much look at Sister Mary, and I'm like, oh, well, some people's aren't. Okay. You know? No, there's nothing. There's nothing, Ray. Ray didn't mix with those folks. No. He's
What
friends.
folks?
You know, pimps. Fucking guys that'll cut you.
Now I show Velvet the list, and I'm like, last question, and we're going to be out of your pretty hair.
Yeah.
Any names on this list that don't fit?
Yeah. Yeah, there's 2 here that don't fit. Kelly is a fuck. She's gross. You know, don't go to her. She's dangerous. And Bethany, don't go to her. She's also a junkie, and she mixes with bad people. Her pimp will cut a guy for nothing.
Oh, Bethany's got a pimp that'll cut a guy for nothing.
Oh, shit.
I see.
Seems relevant.
Anything that's sparking any other thoughts, Velvet?
All right. I just don't think it would have been him. I don't think Clive would have cut Ray. Ray paid what he owed, and then he got out of your way. He was almost not even you forgot he was there.
Huh. Interesting.
I break each of them off another 200. And I'm like, just do us one last favor. We were never here, you dig?
Yeah, no problem.
Just be safe out there, ladies, all right?
Cheers.
I slam back
brought
the
me
rest
over
of
here
that
for this.
whiskey,
Yeah.
and I'll
Oh, you
just
make-
say, ladies, no matter what you choose to do in your life, God always opens his doors for you. And I leave.
Very good. So you kind of know where Bethany and Kelly work. Are you going to go see them?
Is it down by the ridge?
Yeah,
They are.
When we were like back in the car, I'm like, well, Kelly's who they thought of first, but Bethany is the one that's got the pimp that'll slice people up.
Clive. Yeah, that struck me. It's kind of odd, especially the, sometimes, you don't even notice that he's there.
I would rather have a word with Clive. Same thing, if nothing else, if he didn't do it, he might know who did.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put the squeeze on him.
They work. It's a little bridge kind of in this sort of detached area, isolated area where the cops won't hassle them. It's between Negley Run Boulevard and Liberty Boulevard. There's kind of like a canal that is made to help water move through Pittsburgh. And that is where they are at, usually working night to night in this little bridge.
As we pull up about a block away, I just say, would you guys mind if we ran this one a little different? And I unzip the bag, and now you see there is a full tactical suit in the bag and a very large machine gun. I'm like, maybe you guys do the talking and I do the backup, because if this is him...
This
What, Tommy?
This delights me. I should say. I'll just say.
I will
And
say,
I'm just locked and loaded.
I will say, if you don't mind, storyteller, I realize my full tactical is conspicuous, but I still have you see, I pull off the sweatshirt I've got, and I've had a Kevlar vest on the entire time.
Sure.
But when I get the tactical, I still have you know when the Thing would wear that stupid oversized jumpsuit? Like I just have a big sweatshirt. Like anybody that got within 5 feet of me is gonna be like, that dude's wearing armor, but at least it's like slightly inconspicuous. Like from a distance.
I don't know the meaning of the word.
And also, you're not in a conspicuous area right now. These ladies work in a place where they can be away from prying eyes, and so as you move up toward this bridge, I would like wits plus awareness rolls from everybody.
Yeah. So again, to be specific, I'm gonna let the two of them go in. I'm gonna try and just be nearby, like try and get down behind something.
Very good.
In case it gets heavy.
Very good. How did those wits plus awareness rolls go, guys?
5 successes.
How about you?
Just 2 successes. 2 successes for me.
Sister Mary, at first you're not sure if you're having another one of your visions because a big kind of gray or black tree appears to be growing up over the bridge. And inside of this kind of black tree, there are many little sparkles, many little kind of glowing little stars inside of it, filling it. And it's blooming, this tree. It's seeming to grow up over the bridge. And Dumananoir, you don't quite get as clear a view of it, but it does feel like there's something like hovering over the bridge or that has sprouted up on the bridge as you approach.
Okay, either they put something in my whiskey, or if you are seeing this as I am, there is a gigantic sparkly tree. What is this?
I too see the tree. It is certainly nothing to do with your drink.
Suddenly it is moving toward you. Like this entire mass is sort of moving toward you, and you can see all the things sparkling inside of it. It's dark here. Even one of the lamp posts that's supposed to be on here is out. It looks like it's shattered. And this dark sort of structure is kind of moving toward you.
Fuck that.
With 3 successes, do I see that?
Certainly. Horner, you're kind of back, at the car that they've given you, finishing your kind of prep, and you look over and you can now see that, they're standing at where the bridge starts over this little canal, and this mass is moving toward them.
To be clear, so I get out of the car, and to be clear, I've got everything. The big one is holstered over my back. I'm carrying the machine gun with the other weapons holstered, and I start getting in position again. Same way I triangulated with them before, because of the way she was talking. Now I'm triangulating if we're gonna be shooting at this thing. So I'm gonna come in getting ready, but I don't open fire yet.
Okay, great. You don't open fire. Does Sister Mary or Gilles want to do anything?
I am okay. So, can I ask? Sorry, a tiresome question.
It's fine.
My portable X scope. Does that show me? Is that something that I can just?
Yeah, the X scope basically shows blank bodies, right? It shows where the blank bodies are. Is that right? Let me look at that real quick, but I think that is what it does. Yes, X scope.
Oh, 378. Sorry, not 37.
Yeah, 378. I got it right here. So your portable X scope. They use simple technology to determine if someone is living or dead by looking for a heartbeat. So you don't really have a target right now. Yeah. So it doesn't just pick up blank bodies. So Gilles is kind of going through his equipment, looking like, what am I going to do? And I have to tell you, this mass is getting really close right now. Sister Mary.
Would my knowledge of the occult, would I know anything about this?
I think you can roll occult if you'd like. That's a great idea. Give me a intelligence plus occult roll.
Okay. 3 successes.
The plagues of Egypt. They control the beasts. Suddenly, you just hear verses from Exodus in your head as suddenly a wave of gray moths is upon you, like in a giant swarm. That tree was just an enormous mass of moths, and they are getting into your mouth. They're like getting all over your clothes. They're like sticking themselves against you. They're crawling into your ears. It is an enormous storm of moths. Currently you have -2 to any roll because this thing is all over you, and you're fine though, Horner. They're not on top of you yet.
Mm-hmm. Can I see any other targets? Can I see anything other than because I can't shoot moths?
Yeah, you can't. Horner, you were kind of surveying the situation, and you already got 3 successes on your wits plus alertness, right? Or your wits plus awareness. So I'm going to say that you see a body. You like hunched up against one side of the bridge. It looks like a kind of a gaunt body. There's some skin of the arm showing, and just a little bit of hair from the head up on the bridge.
From where I am, I'm like, just like no. I start shooting at it.
Okay, great. Let's start going like round by round with what everybody's doing. I'm going to give you that one for free. So you go, and you hit the body that's laying there, and it goes like that, and you spend a couple rounds, and the body laying on the bridge kind of like does the being hit with bullets shuffle, and now we're going to go round by round. What are you going to do, Gilles Dumananoir?
Let me see. I am not a man of great action. This I am the first to admit. Alors, let me think. Well, can I? I wonder if my best course of action is discretion is the better part of valor in this instance. Could I use perhaps my streetwise to find a dumpster to climb into?
There's no dumpsters. There's no dumpsters out on the bridge, but streetwise would maybe allow you to find some shelter or something. Would you like to try that?
Something, yes. I wish to escape from the many moths.
That's a great idea. Okay, so give me I think a dexterity plus streetwise to try to find a place where you can shut yourself off from the moths.
I will do my best. I am not very good at any of these things.
Okay. And don't let me know how you rolled yet. And Sister Mary Ursula, what would you like to do?
I'm going to try to use these dragon's breath rounds to get these moths off of me and hopefully hit something.
Okay, great. So your dragon's breath rounds, basically these are bullets that explode into fire when they hit something. Maybe it will be effective against these moths. Let me see here. The moths, I know exactly how the moths deal with damage and stuff like that. Okay, great. So you're going to go ahead and do that. And what is Horner going to do?
Can you just tell me what I roll with firearm? Is it
I like dexterity. Yeah,
Dex?
that makes sense.
Well, when I shot that body, it didn't move or anything after that.
No, it just kind of laid there. Yeah.
I'm gonna head because these moths came from the top of the bridge, right?
Mm-hmm, that's right.
I'm gonna head up towards the top of the bridge because I've given away my position with machine gun fire. So I'm like just trying to.
So in order from this end of the bridge, you would have to like the moths are kind of like in the way of getting onto the bridge. Does that make sense? They kind of have enveloped your friends. You were kind of back, so you weren't in the middle of it.
Yeah, I'm not.
You want to try to move through them?
I'm not going through the moths. Well, how full is my tactical? I mean, do I have sealed off air, or is it just kind of like the helmet kind?
It's. I don't think you had sealed off air. I don't think you did. You just you do have tactical. Like it's not going to mess too much with your vision.
Right. Yeah, but I'm not letting that stuff get in my mouth and things. So I have no other targets. I can only see Gilles running and Sister Mary opening up with the dragon's breath. But
that's right.
I can't get through the moths.
That's right.
Can I sweep around to see under the bridge to see?
You can.
Thing? Yeah,
you absolutely can.
Sweep wide.
So let's start with your action. No, don't bother to roll anything. That was just a smart move. Sweeping down under the bridge, Horner, you are suddenly shocked to see that there is someone under the bridge, kind of like hunched there. And when you come around, and do you have a light mounted on your gun because it's quite dark?
Yeah.
Okay, your searchlight. Sure. I mean, it just makes sense. I'm not gonna be like, sorry, you didn't mention your light. Right. You turn your light down into the dark part, like under the eaves of the bridge, and a woman, like some kind of creature, sort of like starts to uncurl itself. But when it turns to you and it's in the light, it is a beautiful woman in a gown from like the 19th century.
Nice.
Y'all already know what I'm gonna do.
Yes.
No, Morticia's getting lit up. Yeah.
There she is. She looks kind of like that. And Morticia's about to get lit up, but that was your action for now, was running down there and discovering her. And now...
If I would just say, if I have the opportunity to yell contact, I don't know if they're going to be able to hear me anyway, but I do try. I mean, they're about to know there's contact, but I try to tell them before I pull the trigger. Yeah,
no problem. And so Morticia's about to get lit up is my favorite thing someone has said in a vampire game in a while. And now we are going to go to Noura and Sister Mary Ursula. How did that shot go?
So I got 7 successes minus 2. That's a 5.
Okay, let me see here. They to resist the damage, they got Sister Mary, you dispersed it. I don't know what you did, but you were just firing fire into the air.
The Lord will execute judgment by fire.
Yeah. Let's see. So they actually, you haven't totally dispersed it, but you've dispersed most of it. Let's see. You just gave them like 3 aggravated damage to these moths, and there's just a little bit of them left kind of flittering around, but they're not blocking your view anymore. And now you can very clearly see 2 women kind of lying dead, one full of bullet holes in the middle of the bridge, and 2 creatures kind of standing over them. And these creatures look like corpses, and they kind of immediately start crawling away from both of you. Gilles Dumananoir, how did you do? Yes, there they are. Gilles Dumananoir, how did you do on your...
One success.
One success is not enough. It is not enough for you to find adequate like shelter from the moths or whatever. So what I'm going to rule is because you only rolled 1 success, I'm going to punish you for not getting enough successes, like a good storyteller should, and say that what you do is you kind of run and you get down beneath the bridge, and you kind of come to the back of Morticia, of the woman in the gown, and now he's in your shot. He's in your shot. Fuck, my friend. Yeah. The Frenchman is in your shot, and now let's see. My characters will act, and I'm going to tell you what they do. The 2 creatures that were up on the bridge are like crawling away from Sister Mary, and the one below is trying to say something to you, my friend Horner. She's talking to you, and in fact, let's see what everybody's going to do this round. But she starts going like to you, Horner. And Horner, you're going to open fire, or are you going to not open fire?
So, correct me if I'm wrong. Theoretically, my weapon, which is an HK-416, should have the option both for auto but also individual rounds.
That's right.
If I know Gilles is there, I mean, this isn't the first time that there was like targets in the vicinity. I'm gonna hit the switch to single shot and still just try and just pop her once. Pow.
Okay, great. That's great. You're gonna make a dexterity plus firearms roll, and let me know when I call for it. And Sister Mary Ursula, what are you going to do? These 2 things are kind of fleeing from you.
I'll just say, I'll point to them. I'll say, you are not to eat the blood of any flesh, for whoever eats it shall be cut off. And I'll shoot another dragon's breath round
against one of them. Great. And finally, Gilles Dumananoir, what are you going to do?
I would like to whip out, forgive me for the use of the term, my stick launcher.
Steak launcher. Okay. I can allow you to whip it out and even do something with it this round because she's not paying attention to you. Okay, so you're going to also fire your steak launcher at her. Okay, so the first thing that she does is she tries to cow your warrior. She is trying to cow your warrior. I need a stamina plus resolve roll from you, Horner. Oh my god. She just critted. She rolled 2 10s and an 8. But if you crit or you get a lot more successes, I might make it a little less dire for you.
Well, let's see. That's not necessarily my strength. Okay. You said stamina and resolve?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's see. I'm like, the Lord is my shelter and strength. There you go. That is 3 successes, but no crit.
Okay, so she rolled 2 10s and an 8. It is a crit, but you got enough successes that I think you get your shot off.
I got
go ahead.
7 with a crit on that bullet, though.
Oh, did you?
Oh, yeah.
Flip to single shot. You fire right before she and suddenly she quells your beast. You suddenly are humbled by her and in awe of her ferocity. Her beast is stronger than your will, and your gun goes down for a minute, but you did get that shot off. You said 7 successes.
Yep, and it's a plus. Yeah, 7 with a crit, so 7 total. In that it's a +5 weapon.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ouch. Yeah, you blast her and she kind of falls back into Gilles. Let's go ahead and find out how Gilles' roll worked.
Okay, so for this one, again, forgive me, I roll firearms plus anything?
Yeah, I think it should be dexterity.
Okay. Here we go. No successes. 0.
Oh God. Okay, and wow, that's amazing. Would you like to spend a willpower and re-roll?
Sure. Yes, please.
Yeah, you can re-roll up to 3 dice. Re-roll up to 3 dice.
Okay. Yeah. Wait. Haha! Also 3 failures.
Are you kidding? Whoa. Okay.
No.
So
I'm not good at shooting.
The Frenchman, you get your shot off, and then you kind of go limp, Horner, and the Frenchman's like, I got it. You know what I mean? He's got his steak launcher up against her back, and she just kind of as she's riddled with, hit with the bullet, she kind of swipes her arm back, and the Frenchman's steak goes wide and goes shooting off into the top of the bridge.
Belgian.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Gilles. You know what? +1 die in your next roll because I keep calling you French.
You did it about 3 times there, so I'm taking 3 extra dice.
Those are rage dice.
Yeah, she's like, who is this Frenchman? The character says it to you. Okay, and now, my friend, Sister Mary Ursula, which one of the two are you firing against? The one that seems sort of bloated, or the skinnier one on the left?
Let's go for the bloated fella.
Okay, go for it. How did you do?
I got critical success of, so I got 6 total. Do I still have the -2 from the moths, which I'm spitting out of my mouth?
No, because you dispersed that. So I'm going to let you not have the -2.
So I have 6 successes.
Ooh.
Okay, and 6 successes, and that wasn't a crit though, right? It was just 6 successes?
Oh, no, it was a crit, yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay, let's see how they do on their escape roll. If they can get more successes than that, they won't get hit. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They equaled you, but you critted, so you get to hit one of them. I'm gonna say, what is the bonus damage your gun does? Do you know that?
Yes, I do.
Because that's because they equaled you in successes, so you only get that many.
It's +4.
+4. Okay, one of them is taking 4 aggravated fiery damage. The bloated one on the right there is taking 4 aggravated damage. from fire. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. You hear it scream, and you've stopped it in its tracks. The other one has kind of skittered away like an animal, and you can't quite see where it's gone. It's gone like to the other end of the bridge and then down the slope into beneath the bridge in this kind of like aqueduct, because this isn't a real creek or stream. This is kind of like sewage overflow or something like that. So now we are at a new round, and I'm going to ask what everybody would like to do. Horner, what would you like to do?
Well, I'm quelled, so I'm going to try fall back towards Sister Mary.
That's a good idea. And if you're quelled, because we're at our big climax, I can allow you to roll your willpower. If you fall back this round, I can allow you to, because you're taking time to kind of deal with it, I'll allow you to roll your willpower and see if you can get unquelled. How many willpower dice does Horner have?
Currently, I have 5. I spent 1 to get that crit, so I have 5 unspent willpower.
Well, since that's a level 3 power, and by the way, I'm pulling some of this out of my ass, but I think it makes sense. I want 3 successes from Horner to break the quell. And meanwhile, let's see, what is Sister Mary Ursula going to do?
So is there anybody else that's around right now, or?
No, I mean, you guys are in a pretty deserted area, and you can just see like the burning back of the creature that you kind of hit, like trying to like pick itself up off the bridge. It's leaving like a big ash smear because you're burning it, but it's not down yet. It's not gone. The other one has disappeared.
Oh, well, I'm not gonna let him squirm away. So I'm gonna hit him again.
Okay, great. And Dumananoir, what are you going to do? I'm going to tell you that a stake launcher is something that you must load. It is not something that has a big kind of bandolier of stakes going into it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I also have a net gun.
Oh, okay, great.
The only other thing I have that might be useful, so I'm going to shoot my net gun at if I may.
Okay, I'm going to make the difficulty a little higher to show that you have to throw down the stake launcher and pull the net gun off of your hip, which I think is a little complicated. So you need, 2 more successes than whatever it takes to hit. Which she's no longer dealing with Horner. So she is going to turn to you. Oh, she's not doing so well though. In fact, her visage, this kind of beautiful woman in 19th century regalia, falls away, and you see that she is kind of a rotting corpse like these others. She spins to look at you. She's rotting. Part of her face is missing. You're about to use your net gun on her. Let's start with you. I asked everybody what they're doing, right? Yes, I did. Okay, so let's start with you. What do you roll for your net gun? And she's going to do something to you.
I rolled 1 success.
You rolled 1 success. Oh, are you kidding? Really?
I am bad at guns. I have 2. I roll 4 die at any one time.
Okay, here she comes.
When it comes to shooty things, I'm bad at it.
She first of all, she rouses. She gets hungrier.
Okay, is that good?
No, not really. And then her hands, her fingers grow into huge claws, and she's just going to try to kill Dumananoir with a brawl attack. Here it comes, and she rolls 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She rolls 5 successes. And well, I will allow you. It is in fact, and she also gets +2 to that. So it's actually like kind of 7 damage coming against you. But I'm going to allow you to kind of roll to resist that. I think if you'd like, okay. I'm going to let you to roll like a Dex plus Athletics to try to mitigate some of that damage and get out of the way.
Okay, well, as you can imagine, I'm a fat, round, little egg-shaped Belgian man with a moustache. So I am very dexterous and very athletic. Let's see how I get on.
Well, just remember, you get that +1 die from me calling you French.
Oh, c'est vrai. Alors?
I was serious about that.
2 successes.
2 successes. So you have mitigated, let's see, I said that there was 1, 2, 3, 5 successes of damage, actually 7 successes of damage coming at you. So now it's only 5. You take 5 aggravated damage from her claws, Gilles.
I go down to my health. Yes, this is
Yes,
what I do. I
and
take
since it's an aggravated, it's like double bad, right? It's like it's not just a superficial. It's like you really are. She is basically ripping Gilles to shreds right now. Her claws have ripped into his torso. Humphrey Ker, forgive me, but Gilles, you got to feel the pain, baby. She's trying to literally rip your rib cage out of your torso. Let's go to Sister Mary Ursula.
You say trying. I say succeeding.
How many health levels do you have altogether?
0 now because of that.
Then I think if you've taken that many aggravated, you are down. You are down, my friend. Gilles has been dropped, and now it is time for Sister Mary Ursula to make her roll. How did you do, Sister Mary?
I got 7 successes with a critical.
This creature is going to try to skitter out of your way, but it's going to deal with negative dice from you having hit it with a bunch of aggravated damage last turn. So if you'll bear with me, we're going to see. You said how many successes did you get?
7.
7 is a lot. 7 is a lot. Let's see how it does. It's trying to heal its damage, and it can't because it's aggravated. And here comes its roll. Can it get 7 and get away and not get hit again? It rolls. It only rolled 6. So you do another damage to it, yes? Another aggravated damage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great.
Evildoers will bow down in the presence of the good. As I watch him go,
yes, you will. And it is sort of bowing down to you yet. I'm gonna call that one not totally like dead. So you could like talk to it, capture, do something to it, but it looks like it's the fight is out of it. It's like still trying to like get the burning off of it because you've hit it with Dragon's Breath rounds twice. And now I'm gonna talk to Horner. Horner, how did it go?
Well, good news and bad news. The bad news is only 2 of the dice were successes. The good news is they were crits, so that's 4.
There we go. So 4 successes, I'm going to say that made it. You take it. You get out from under the bridge. You take a moment to feel yourself again, and you might even be like sitting, right? Like you had to just like sit down for a second. And Horner, because you have succeeded, I would like for you to make in a moment. You make a wits plus awareness roll.
Okay. 3 successes.
Something is near you. Something is here. Something is around you right now. A normal person, a civilian, would just say that they felt deja vu or they felt someone in the room, but you know what's happening. It's not visible, but there's a threat right now for you. Okay, guys, we are getting close to our 2-hour mark, so I'm going to say the next 3 rolls decide the conflict. We are going to do 3-2 done starting now, and we are going to see, so pick your actions carefully, because I want to see how this all ends up. I really don't know which way this fight is going right now. We've taken one of the enemies out of the conflict, but we've also taken one of the investigators out of the conflict. Our poor friend is bleeding out beneath a bridge into an aqueduct. And let's find out what Sister Mary Ursula is going to do now that you kind of have this one kind of down, Sister Mary.
I kind of want to do one last thing before I run after Gilles.
Okay.
I can't let him go. So I'm going to walk up to him slowly, the last dude with my sledgehammer. And I'm going to kneel down, get eye level, and say, as the weeds are pulled up and burned in the fire, so it will be at the end of the age. And I'll slam, boom, right over his head.
Okay, so this is the one you've been hitting with Dragon's Breath, right?
Yeah, now I'm just going to bash his skull in.
That's so awesome, Sister Mary, that I don't need a roll for it. And I also think that it just happens. And that I also think that you become filled with the power of the Lord. I want you to describe it in detail, and then I want you to take a bonus to your next roll, whatever that ends up being. But don't, describe it for me right now, and then I'll find out what Horner's doing.
Okay. As I say those last words, I am filled with the light of God's fiery vengeance, and as I rise above, and you can see my shadow kind of cast over in the street light right above him, kind of like making
It
giving
comes
me
on
like
again.
the exact line of fire. Where'd that sound come from? And then I'll just swing over and then just like the loudest, I don't want to wake my house, scream, and then bring it over his head, and it's just like oozing guts, like brains and everywhere.
there is so much spatter, but
in the shape of a cross.
Oh yeah, perfect cross. You are emboldened by this. You have put the vampire into torpor. And I'm going to give you a +2 dice on your next roll, whatever that ends up happening to be, but we're not going to find out yet. Horner, you've kind of taken a moment. You've gotten control of yourself, but you feel that there is a bogey. There's a blank body near you. What are you going to do?
I realize there's a hostile, but I can't let that fucking monster kill Giles. And now that he's out of my line of fire, I open up on her. Spray the one, and I got 8 with a crit.
She was, as you would imagine, not paying attention to you. She thought she had quelled you. And so she was picking up Gilles to finish him off, to feed on him. And suddenly, I mean, come on, 8 with a crit, and you'd already done a lot of damage to her. You just open up on her, and she goes to pieces in front of you, like parts are coming off of her. She drops Gilles back to the ground. So that Gilles is not finished off by her. You save your friend. You are also emboldened in the way that a warrior would be emboldened, and you can have 2 dice to your next round. And unfortunately, the only problem is that the thing that was hunting you is immediately upon you. Let's go. Here it comes. It is going to use it's just gonna leap on you, and it's suddenly visible. It's the skinnier of the 2 corpses, just leaps on you like a mountain lion, and it attacks to the tune of 1, 2, 3, 4 successes only. 4 successes, but that's going to be 4 successes. It didn't claw up, so those are 4 superficial successes. But what I would love is a dexterity plus athletics roll at -2. B Dave, so that Horner stays on his feet.
Okay. That is 3 successes, and that is not enough to penetrate my armor either.
Oh, well, then that's that. You stay standing, and the thing is just kind of holding on to you, like it's on top of you, but it's kind of being held up there. I can tell you that something else is happening to poor Gilles. Eliza's, or you don't know her name. The woman's body falls onto Gilles, and the blood starts to trickle down into Gilles' open chest cavity. Okay.
I thought there was a non-zero chance that's the way this was going to go, honestly.
So we have our second of the 3 rounds that we're going to use to resolve this. Both Horner and Sister Mary get a +2 this round because they've done some badass shit. And so, Sister Mary, what do you do?
I don't have any dots in medicine.
Well, you have +2 dice.
Oh, I do. Okay. Let's. I want to do anything I can to stop what you just said from happening.
Okay, so you run down to the body of Gilles, and you see that the blank body is on top of him, bleeding onto him, and that he has a lot of open wounds.
Yeah, can I just move her, maybe?
Yeah, you can move her off, and you can try to do something to help him. So you're going to make a dexterity plus medicine roll. You have 0 medicine, but you are getting a +2 to this roll. But we are going to take away what the rule is. You take away a success, right? I think that's what happens. We are going to take away a success because you're untrained in this. Okay, yes. Go ahead.
Okay, I got 4 successes -1. You said so 3.
Okay, that is enough to stabilize. I think you have stabilized Gilles, but whether that that body bleeding into him had an effect or not, we will find out later. You just are kind of able to kind of like, you start just tying him up really tight. It's the only thing you can think to do. Meanwhile, Horner, what would you like to do?
So remember I told you I had my heavy weapon slung?
Mm-hmm.
Quick sling, point blank. Ralphus, 9 with a crit.
9 with a crit.
I'm like,
Okay, this thing is going to try to just hurt you.
Yep.
So let me roll it, see if it gets enough successes to even get an attack off before you do that. Let's see if that's possible.
Mm-hmm. Especially if it's trying to grab a hold of me, just right under the chin. Here you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, let's see. Wow. So it didn't get 9 with a crit, but it did get a crit. It got 4 with a crit. So your attack blows its brains to Kingdom Come. It's suddenly visible, very clear, but it is coming at you with let's see.
I got armor of 6, by the way.
It doesn't get through. You explode the vermin, and the headless skeleton. It looks like a desiccated mummy without a head now. Goes sailing across the aqueduct and splashing into like just the ankle deep brackish water in the bottom of the.
Does that account for the 3 hostiles we've seen, or is there one that is still unaccounted for?
That accounts for the 3 hostiles you've seen. We didn't even need 3 rounds to resolve this conflict, and so let's have one last thing happen here. Gilles, you kind of are going in and out of consciousness. Describe how Gilles would handle like a near-death experience. What would happen to Gilles in that case?
Oh, I think he's muttering in Latin something to himself. He's attempting to give himself some kind of absolution.
And I will ask, that's very good. So you're muttering in Latin, giving yourself absolution. Your compatriots, how would they handle this? What would their priority be in the aftermath of something like this?
Once I'm sure that the area is cleared, I just walk over to where I see Sister Mary working on him, but I just pull out my kukri and I'm like, I can make it clean if you want. I know he was your friend, but he doesn't want to turn into whatever the fuck that was.
Latin.
I don't like try and force her past or anything, but I'm kind of like, we both know what this is, so
we don't know until we know. And I say we don't know until we know, and I just pray and still try to heal him.
And I call for.
Don't mean I'm gonna stop you if you try.
No, I don't try and force it past him. I'm like, then let's get him in the car. We gotta go.
Okay. You get him in the car.
And I do call in, hazmat containment under the bridge. There's things.
Right. And so they're sending their white featureless vans to the area to deal with burning and or if they're taking, sometimes they take specimens, and that's gone horribly for the Inquisition before. Yeah. So how does one roll to see if one turns into a vampire? Because I think the most fun thing would be to leave it to a roll for Mr. Humphrey Ker. Let's see. I'm going to see if there's any rules on the embrace in the book to make sure I'm following the rules. But I will say, when you get back to base, just to kind of give you a little bit in the way of epilogue.
I could save you some time if you want to know how it is by the book, or if we're handling this dramatically. I won't say a word.
This is why I love playing with somebody like B. Dave. B. Dave, what does it say by the book?
He'll only turn if he dies. So if she stabilized him, he won't turn. However, he should be ghouled because he has kindred blood in his veins. That's by the book. Dramatically, it can be anything.
You're right. You're absolutely right. So
I want to roll.
Did he die? Did he die in that moment, or did she truly stabilize him? Well, she did really well in her roll. I think we need to roll to find out.
The dice decide.
We're gonna do by Jared's ruthless GM fiat.
I'm always here to let fate decide. Yep.
Yes, and I think since that's the rule in the book, let's find out. Did Sister Mary really save him, or did she get there just a second too late? Was her stabilizing really the blood going into effect? Let's find out, and I think, Humphrey Ker, let's just do it this way. Roll one die. If it's a 6 or above, you do turn into one of the kindred.
Before I roll my one die, what is the deal with ghouls? What are they like?
Well, they're addicted to blood. They get a little bit of the power of the vampire that feeds them. They're regnant, and that blood empowers them. So perhaps with supernatural strength or one of the other kindred disciplines, you would be anathema among the Second Inquisition. But they were also using thin bloods with detonator collars, so maybe you could still have a career.
And if it was above, it had to be what am I rolling? If I succeed, I survive. If I fail, I turn.
Yeah, we're doing it with like a rouse roll. If you roll a 6 or above, I'm going to say you do become embraced.
Okay, so in the back of the car, as you're working on Gilles, in front of you hear the Latin. In the French accent, comme ça, hein? Le Latin. And then he goes still. And then suddenly he sits bolt upright. And in a scene very reminiscent of a popular movie film, The Mask. And he's like, somebody stop me.
What? That's what he says?
That's what he said. I don't know why. And he has a different accent as well.
Does he have?
It almost makes no sense. His face is all green.
Is that the very strange way you're telling me you rolled and you succeeded, Humphrey Ker?
No, I failed. I'm a ghoul.
You're a ghoul. Okay, well that's good. Oh my God, from the Inquisition point of view, that's amazing because they can get you off the blood. Yeah, okay, you can say somebody stop me.
When he says somebody,
Jared, you don't stop me. I choose what my character does.
Of course,
somebody stop me. Like The Mask.
And when he sits up like that, I put my hand on the grenades on my belt and put my thumb through the loop of one of them, but I don't pull it. Because I'm like, I will kill us all. Yeah.
By way of epilogue, you just learn from your Inquisition authorities, your bosses, and the techs that place in the sewage treatment plant was like a bacteria colony, and they apparently were gathering different types. They found the stuff that causes pneumonia. They found STD bacteria in that kind of structure. They found meningitis. Luckily, though, it does not appear to have been turned into some kind of concoction that could have been released into the water supply. And they think that you have eliminated the blank bodies that were behind this little plan. And so you are all commended, but you go up a rank. You receive 2 XP each. But Humphrey Ker, Gilles Dumananoir is now going to take a flaw. What is it? Infamy or a status flaw? Like you have been, you're not corrupted. It just takes a couple weeks of leaving you in isolation before they think you're free to walk out without having the corruption of the blank bodies in your system. But your colleagues have heard the story that you imbibed vampire blood and they don't trust you as much anymore.
No, fuck them. They suck.
Fuck you, motherfucker. This is one of the deltas on Horner's team. Fuck you.
Egg. It's going to take a minute before he's out of the hospital anyway, so he's fucked up.
Yeah. It's going to be a little while before Dumananoir sees action again.
No, I'm walking with a limp.
But I'd love to bring our Inquisitors back again sometime. This has been fantastic. That's where we're going to end for today. Thank you to B. Dave Walters, Noura Ibrahim, and Humphrey Ker. You guys were amazing.
You were.
No, stop.
Yeah.
I loved the investigation even more than I loved your ruthless violence. It was beautiful.
I love NPC sex worker Jared.
Thank you. I hope I handled that well. Hey, I hope I handled that well, but viewers and chat realize that I am always open to constructive criticism in my storytelling.
Hey,
And
if I didn't already know that they had 4-alarm gonorrhea, it might have gone differently, you know.
right. Well, I mean, it also helped that I had these fantastic players who know how to take care of their storytellers. So thanks again, you guys. I'm going to say goodbye for right now. Watch Black Dice Society. Watch the GCN with me and Noura, and let these guys know on their socials how much you love them. Thank you, B. Dave, Noura, and Humphrey. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Guys, that was another great session with the Inquisitors. It's cool to get that side of it every once in a while. So let's just do a little end of show business. And if people want to shoot me a comment or a question, I have time for like one. The Stream of Blood channel is dark this week because I'm working on that GCN game with Troy and Skid and those guys over there and Noura. But we promise it is only because we're hard working at exceptionally cool stuff. And we will be back Saturday with another Blood and Blades faction turn. Stream of Blood is also a podcast. All 30 episodes of the original Vampires of Pittsburgh series are on it. The Vampires of Pittsburgh Lockdown series is soon to follow. And then we're going to put our other shows onto our podcast. So please support the podcast, subscribe, rate, and review it. It helps people find our streams. It helps people find our YouTube. And speaking of people finding us and supporting us, we would love for you to subscribe on Twitch. That is the main way that we receive an income from what we do. And it helps us pay for great artists like Will Pottorff to add art to our streams. It helps for us to just put more programming up for you. And subscribers do get benefits. Recently, our subscribers helped create the setting for my Glass Cannon new game, Who Dis games with Noura. So that was incredible. We just kind of had a brainstorming session with the subscribers who were interested. And of course, there's the Blood and Blades, our Blades in the Dark faction turn that happens once a month where our subscribers control the factions of Duskfall. So these are some of the things we're giving back to the subscribers, and we're going to give more back. And what I'm interested with subscribers is hearing your ideas and letting you contribute to the game. So that's what we've done so far. Subscribe. You'll get a little bit more bang for your buck. Okay. Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition is part of the World of Darkness from Paradox Interactive and published by Modiphius Games, or at least this hardcover that I have was. Original artwork for Vampires of Pittsburgh is by Will Pottorff, Pottorff. You can find Will at willpottorff.com. And our original music is by Axel Kazis Taylor. Hear more of Axel's stuff at soundcloud.com. Subscribe on Twitch. Go to our Twitter. Follow us there. Go to Stream of Blood's Reddit. Comment there. Join our Discord and be part of the discussion with me and secret storyteller Clinton Trucks and our other secret storyteller Brian Baldinger and all of the great fans and viewers and supporters. We're there. We want to nerd out about role-playing games with you. And now there's a heavy metal channel, so I want people to give me their band recs. We're also on Facebook. I don't know why. All right. Does anybody have a comment or a question? While I'm waiting to see those, I'm going to say I would like to thank my producers and partners, Brian Baldinger and Clinton Trucks. I would like to thank our social media manager, Megan Arch, our YouTube content producer, Matt Moynihan. The Stream of Blood logo was created by Garrett Ross, and our opening animation is by Andrew Orvidal. Yes, can we please have JCVIM back soon? Oh, Vampire Vaxeldan.
Josephine.
Oh, Josephine. Yes, of course you can. And Josephine, I played with Josephine last night on our Blood and Blades games. Josephine is now part of our Weird Sisters crew, a crew of lady assassins operating out of night market. So that'll be up on video on demand really soon, and you can check that out.
Yeah, Pacific tonight.
There we go. Thank you, secret storyteller Clinton Trucks. Guys, if you have more questions or you just want to say hello, hit me up on our Discord. Thank you so much for being here. And until next time, get really pink. Get humanly pink and stay that way, because vampires are an aberration against God. Bye-bye.